Okay, people, really quick, I just want to show you how to tie a termination knot. Termination knot is a knot that you're going to tie onto your climbing line, where you attach your climbing line to your climbing saddle. These are the D-rings. They call them D-rings. You got two. Well, my saddle has two in the front, and on the side, I have two side D-rings, one here and one on the other side. But at any rate, when you're tying your climbing line into your saddle, you want to tie it to the front two D-rings. This is a carabiner that you're going to use. The carabiner is actually going to go through your two D-rings, and from there you're going to attach your climbing line to the carabiner. You have to get a carabiner if you're going to be climbing. You have to get a carabiner that's rated for life support. This, I'm just showing you how what I do. I'm not giving you professional instruction or anything. You need to seek out professional instruction, because you can get killed or hurt if you don't use this equipment properly. So you want to get a rated carabiner. This is this requires 3 deliberate actions in order to open. In other words, it just doesn't close, and that's the end of it. No, this is not something that you would have on a key ring or something. This is actually rated for climbing. Okay, so what happens is, in order to open this, thing, you have to, first of all, you have to push it up. You have to push the gate up, and after that you have to twist it. After it's pushed up and twisted, only then can you open the gate. So in other words, if you're climbing, or you are working and you're pushing up against it, your stomach or the tree or your leg or whatever is pushing up against this thing and rubbing, it's not going to accidentally open, because it's designed to open after the 3 actions have been completed. In other words, you can push this thing up, you can push this collar up, it's not going to open. You have to push this collar up, deliberately twist it, and then deliberately open it that way in order for the thing to open on you. This is a carabiner. You need to research these things and find out what you're supposed to have. Again, this is not a how-to. This is made by Petzl, by the way. Petzl. So that's what I wanted to show you first. Okay, so we've gotten the carabiner through our 2 front D-rings. You see that? So now we're going to tie the termination knot that I was going to show you. So my favorite termination knot is called the Anchor Hitch. Okay, this is how the Anchor Hitch goes. Alright, you have your carabiner. Right, it requires multiple actions to open. Made by Petzl. These are good and strong. Get something rated for tree work and life support and climbing. Don't get something for take it off your keychain, or get something from a box store. You want to get something, all of this stuff is supposed to be rated. This rope, all of this is rated for climbing and life support. At any rate, the Anchor Hitch. So you're going to run your rope through your carabiner. You see that? And just keep on coming, because you're going to need some on the other end. So you're going to run it through, not once, but twice. So I'm going to come right back through there again. See that? I run it through twice. Now this long end here, this is called the running end. You see this part, actually, if you were climbing a tree, or if you're working, doing tree work, this part will be the part that's up in the tree between a major crotch where 2 branches or the tree splits, and you have in a section where you can run your rope through. The other side of the rope is going to come down, but we'll show you that later. At any rate, this is the running end. The part that's attached to your saddle or your carabiner, this part of the rope is called the working end. So we're tying a knot using the working end of the rope. So let me back up just so you don't get lost. So I run it through my carabiner once. And I take my tail and run it through the carabiner again. You see that? So I made 2 loops. Okay, you see that? I got my 2 loops. Now then, I take the rest of my tail and I'm going to go over right in front of my 2 loops. Right in front of it, go under both loops. You see that? Now at that point you have to dress. They call it dressing and setting. You have to dress and set. In other words, you want to take what you've just done and kind of go over it, working out all of the slack. And you want to cinch it down. So I'm going to pull here. I've already redone the whole thing by pushing down and pulling through on everything. Now on this end I'm pulling out, and on my running end I'm going to pull that tight. Do you see how the rope moves? I'm going to pull that tight, and I just retrace my steps, make sure everything's nice and snug. They call it dressing and setting your knot. You always dress and set your knot. Now you see how that works? Now this is a super strong knot right here. It's not going anywhere. Now watch what I do. So again, this tail stays with me. This is the working end. This is life support. This is keeping me attached. Now, it's possible, it's highly unlikely, but when you leave a tail like this, you see how the rope, see how the knot is configured? Just so that this tail doesn't, as you're working throughout the course of the day, this tail doesn't run back through and unravel itself, you take your tail and make a figure 8 knot. I'm going to show you a figure 8 knot. It's just like it sounds. You're going to take what's left. See that? Look. See that there? What does that look like? What does that look like? Looks like a figure 8, right? I'm going to run it through here. And I'm going to do the same thing. Dress and set. Now, I have a super strong anchor hitch right here. And at the end of my line, I have a figure 8 knot, which will prevent this tail from running back, you know, underneath these 2 wraps. It's not gonna, it's highly unlikely, but for safety's sake, I always terminate it like this with a figure 8 knot. See that figure 8? Again, this is the figure 8. So I've gotten that. Now I'm just gonna finish her off. You're gonna throw your finger through there, come around, just like you're making an 8, and push him through there. That's a figure 8 knot. And all of these knot, this knot and more can be found in the Tree Climber's Companion that I showed you earlier. Hold on a second. I learned these knots from this book here. There are tons of books out there that you can find, but at any rate, get professional, certified, and qualified instruction. I'm simply showing you things that I've learned over time, and I'm by no means a professional. But this is my favorite termination knot to attach myself to my climbing harness. It's very secure. I've used it before, and I do feel comfortable with it, and I like it. So learn these knots, practice these knots, seek out professional, qualified instruction, and just have a good day. Thanks for watching.